like I said, we was having this conversation yesterday, and it was like, I think he got a ring. Now his wife confirmed it, but it wasn't with who I thought it was with. The Giants. And it's even how full circle comes. It's kind of cool. Show off. Show off. Show off.
I mean, yeah.
So what's
AFC Championship. So this is when we lost to the Saints.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
lost to the Saints. Yeah, the pick by was it Tracy Porter?
Yeah.
Damn, almost had it.
Almost had two of them, man.
Damn Tracy.
Every day brings a new challenge, a new goal, a new dream waiting to be realized. It's not just about reaching the finish line. It's about the journey, the drive, the determination. We are here to fuel your passion, your ambition, your motivation. Because every step forward, every triumph, big or small, starts with one question. What's your motivation?
You know y'all got a Super Bowl winning champion out here. Yeah. And they're like, what? You got a real champion. And I ain't talking about somebody that said, oh, I used to play football growing up. No. Yeah. Played. So that was just like, I thought it was like really cool, like just to get more of a backstory. Yeah. And it was like, I've been knowing Tony, he's been helping me out on the track for all these damn years. Yeah. And this motherfucker won a Super Bowl. Shit.
Yeah.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up.
All right, another episode of Corner Speed 33, and we're here at MotoAmerica. Great weekend here in September. This beautiful weekend, and it's crazy. I was trying to think of a story about this weekend. Last year we had Alessandro, who won a championship again.
Winner and the new champion, Alessandro De Mario.
What is something cool when it comes to motorbikes and the motorsport, and myself being an enthusiast of it? And not only that I think this is a cool story, but it also kind of resonates with me on how a full circle. Today we have Tony Ugoh. Am I saying that correct?
You are.
Tony Ugoh went to the University of Arkansas. We played against each other in college. We played against each other in the National Football League. But something that this young man has not told me, and I had to do a little bit of research, is, and he has it on his right hand right now, he's a champion also, and more of a champion than I ever was. I had a national championship ring, but to get out there, top 32 teams, the best players in the world, Tony Ugoh, Super Bowl winner. Hey, man, congratulations, man.
I appreciate
congratulations. And we're here today because he raced his, am I correct? Your first race.
Yeah.
Today was his first race. I know you got caught into the family, the family dynamics of you were supposed to go to Road Atlanta and race.
Yeah.
And I remember us having that conversation because your daughter, congratulations to her, went to state in track with the discus. He is her personal coach. I see him each and every day on social media training her. But, how does it feel? How does it feel to get out there in your first race here in MotoAmerica?
I mean, it feels amazing, man. This is it's been a dream of mine. I mean, honestly, before football was a dream, I remember watching Matt Millad back in the days be like, I want to race motorcycles. Yeah. But obviously football, took over. Never had a motorcycle until I went to college. But I mean, it's full circle, man. It's an amazing feeling to finally be able to get out here and say I did something that a lot of people aren't really able to do.
So I ask you this: when did you start riding motorcycles?
So I started riding motorcycles in college, actually, when I wasn't supposed to. So yeah, I started as soon as I moved off campus. First thing I went down to the dealership and went and bought a motorcycle. So.
What was your first bike?
My first bike was a 2004 Gixxer 750. Never rode before, went to the dealership, bought the bike in Fort Smith, I read a book about how to ride a motorcycle because the internet wasn't really too big back then.
Did you even have a motorcycle license?
I did not.
Okay.
And that's a funny story too. That's a whole nother funny story with how I got a motorcycle license. But so bought a motorcycle, had a friend trailer me back to Fayetteville, and I spent the next week during that summer trying to ride around the neighborhood and then riding, down the street and, then I started riding around campus. So it's kind of how I got into the whole motorcycle deal, which, Northwest Arkansas is a beautiful place to ride. Country hills, I used to ride out to the lake, every weekend when we out of season, of course, and, just had some time to reflect. So motorcycles for me have always been like kind of therapy and a getaway.
So the coaches, no one said nothing to you?
Yeah.
Going to University of Texas and in Arkansas is at the same level. Because, I remember we were in school around the same time. Y'all came and beat us.
Yeah.
Then we went up there to a hostile environment. And I got a taste of playing a little bit. If everybody ever goes back, I came in the game. I bit on the play action pass, threw the ball over my head. I looked at Coach Michael Huff, who won the Thorpe Award, and I'm like, hey, listen, it's not for me. I'm not ready yet. So I had to come out the game because I did not want it to be me to be the one that lost that game. But y'all were a really good football team at that time. And, another former teammate of mine and a good friend of mine, Chris Houston, was one of your teammates.
Yeah.
So that's why I say a full circle how big this world is, but at the same time know a lot of the same people. But again, your coaches was just okay.
Nah, it was. They called my parents. Coach Nutt. To this day we still laugh about it. He called my mom and dad. It was like, hey, he showed up with a motorcycle today. Like, can y'all get him to take that thing back? And they're like, we didn't pay for it. So they're like, we can't really do anything. He's not in the house. There's nothing we can do. And so he was always on me about it. And one time he even called me into the office because I guess this was going in like after my junior year. I was, projected to possibly go pretty high, but, I came back again for my senior year, and he actually called Barry Sanders and got me on the phone. He was like, hey, Barry, I want you to, talk to my star lineman, and, he's a great football player, but he also loves motorcycles, and so I want you to, talk to him about that. And even Barry was like, hey, man, you got to choose what you want to do and give this thing up. But, like I said, motorcycles was a passion, and I was hard-headed to an extent, and it paid off for some things, and, but yeah, so I didn't quite give it up then, but, after I got drafted to the Colts, I actually did. I rode my motorcycle to the facility, which was pretty wild, and, they were like, hey, media's coming in, we need you to hide the helmet, so I'd hid the helmet, stuff like that when media would come into the locker room, but that was about the same time, Kellen Winslow had gotten a wreck, Roethlisberger had gotten a wreck, so they were really cracking down on bikes in the league. And so my wife and agent actually had an intervention meeting, which I thought we were going out to dinner, but it was like, hey, you got to get rid of these bikes. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to start riding again as soon as I retire. And she was like, okay, that's cool, but, while you're playing, at least hang it up. So, I hung it up during the career, and then, literally the day I retired, that next week I moved back to Houston and went and bought a motorcycle and started doing track days, and the rest is history.
So I don't think the viewers actually know how good you were. And I say that to say, I did my research. The Colts gave up a first rounder for the next year's draft. 2007 to move up to draft you 42nd?
42nd, yeah.
42nd pick. By the way, I like that number. I wore that in high school. It's an ugly number, but hey, congratulations. 42nd pick. But you were that guy. You was that guy, and you're risking it all on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
That just tells you about the passion that you had for something that really was you. It was you and expressed you as an individual. So I'm going to ask you this question. And the viewers may not know, and maybe we can get some footage or whatever. You go to the National Football League, you're playing with Hall of Famer Peyton Manning, right? You also, on the defensive side of the ball, you have a defensive MVP, I think in 2008, Bob Sanders. But then also you have two edge rushers. One by the name of Dwight Freeney.
Yep.
What was that like when you first got there and the coach is like, all right, let's see if our money that we just invested in this young man, was it worth it? What was that like?
So going into it initially, I got drafted in the second round, and going in, I was supposed to be back up to Tarek Glenn.
Yeah.
So in Tarek Glenn, going in the camp in the summertime, I spent as much as I could, much time as I could with him. But he actually retired that year. So we get like a couple weeks off after OTAs before we go back into camp, and I got a phone call from the agent, which was like, hey, Tarek just retired, and you're going to be their guy. You're going to be starting. So for me, I was just like, I thought I had a year to kind of get, the reins underneath myself, but then to find out, like, not only am I starting, but, I'm starting for, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game, and to be protecting his blind side was a big ordeal. So it was just like, man, I literally had to wrap my head around that and kind of hit the ground running. And, I came in, definitely, all the guys on the offensive line, my left guard, Ryan Lilja, the great Jeff Saturday, center, Ryan Deem, all those guys really just took me under their wings, man. And it's like I'd been there the whole time.
And the crazy part is, I can tell you, is how great that team was. You talk about Marvin Harrison, who's in the Hall of Fame. You talk about Peyton Manning, Hall of Fame. You're talking about Reggie Wayne, who's like right there, Hall of Fame type receiver. You're talking about a lot of great players that you're on. And at the time, playing for the Tennessee Titans, it was like, to get through the AFC South, you got to get through Peyton Manning. And that was a hard task, especially for us. I think we finally accomplished that in 2008. But when I tell you, our whole season was game planned around that game. But to say that how much pressure it had to be on you to come in as a young man and to be with that team and to say, hey, now I got to start right away. And understanding, like you say right now, as you show, you got an AFC South championship ring. You got to play the best of the best. And you're talking about, at the time, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who had James Harrison and those guys, Lamar Woodley. That's a lot of great, talented players that was playing around that time. Even when you go back and you look at Terrell Suggs and guys, Ray Lewis, like, to say that you got to be the starter that early in your career. So then I'm going to ask you this question. Which one was more, or gave you more anxiety? I know you've been riding for a long time, but now you have your first race in front of a crowd, all eyes watching, but now you're not part of a team. You're an individual person that's on a bike that says, hey, me and you as my bike got to be one. Is that harder, or did that give you more anxiety? Or was it playing in the National Football League?
For the first time, I would say for sure it was National Football League, because my first game was against Dallas Cowboys. Oh, okay. And they were. So you had DeMarcus Ware in them, huh? Yes. My first game, I was starting.
Another Hall of Famer.
DeMarcus Ware. And funny story, we're sitting in the locker room. Of course, they all know that I'm nervous, and first preseason game. And then Jeff, looks at Ryan and is like, man, those guys are big. And he looked nervous, and then, Dean looked at him and was like, yeah, man, and they're freaking strong too. And then Lil's just like, yeah, man. He's like, I don't know how we're going to do it. And my mouth just dropped open, because here I am seeing these vets and they're scared. And then they looked at me and they all bust out laughing. And I'm like, man. And so it was a great experience. But like I said, like running out, was in Cowboy Stadium. It's just like I grew up watching the Cowboys. That was like one of my favorite teams. After the Oilers moved away, it was just like, it was kind of a surreal feeling. But then going out there, I'm like, bro, I just was watching DeMarcus Ware last year and kind of envied this dude, as being, one of the great DNs. And it's just like, now I have to block him. So it went from, that was definitely pretty nerve-wracking. I've been club racing for a little bit now, so that kind of got my nerves and my jitters out. But then to come here with the big boys, it was just like, man, it was a whole nother full circle deal. So
because like you say, it's the same thing. I watch these guys on TV, and now I'm on the grid. And instead of watching them from here as a fan, I'm sitting there and he's like, oh, he's up there. He's right there. So, I know the feeling. What you mean is like I don't want to mess up. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to be the one that hypothetically, knock on wood, cause a crash or cost you your championship or whatever. But at the same time, I want to compete and do the best that I can because this is a dream come true.
Yeah.
So, man, I would say totally. One, I tell you, I would have been there yesterday, had kids sports, went to the Texas football game, but I was talking to my guy Nick, and I was like, hey, is Tony racing? Because he didn't tell me at the last race, the track day. And people don't understand, Tony has helped me a lot. I tell him every time we go to the track, just go ahead and go, let me be myself. But he says I do some crazy things or whatnot, but he's taught me a lot. The one guy that says before you do any modifications on your bike, you're too big to be sitting on a stock suspension. Update your suspension and then work your way from there. But I appreciate everything you've done for me.
Yeah,
and if we can, we need to zoom in those things because you won the Super Bowl not with the Colts, but you won it at the Colts Stadium. And that was with who?
With the Giants. Yeah.
And you played against who?
Yeah, played against the Patriots.
Patriots. That means you played against Tom Brady.
Yep.
So you played against a lot of great players, a lot of great talent and things. But man, congratulations with everything you've done.
Yeah, man.
And again, I was excited just the whole fact. And I tell you, like, I'm up this morning, 7 o'clock, like, I gotta come watch my boy race and just see that. And got to meet your beautiful wife and your beautiful young kids. And congratulations to your daughter. She's doing great things when they come to track. I know you coaching her, but I'm glad you was able to actually get to do something that you really enjoyed. And guess I'll see you next weekend because we got Double R Fest. So, man, appreciate everything. Good luck with everything.
I appreciate
Hope we do this next year.
Yeah.
If you need any help, I could be a great blocker. I'll just send it into turn one. I'll let you do what you gotta do
Pave
after
the way
that.
for me,
yeah,
man.
I got you,
Yeah,
baby.
pave the
But,
way
man,
for me.
Congratulations. That was definitely
it.
big, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, y'all stay tuned. Hopefully we continue to have great interviews like this. Again, I was very happy and excited to do this interview. I mean, it's big time, especially for me. Not everybody gets to win one of those, or two, AFC South championship ring or a Super Bowl ring. But shout out Corner Speed 33. Y'all stay tuned. Is there anything that y'all suggest we should do or any other type of interviews? Again, hit that subscribe button, send us messages, send us whatever it is. Just continue to follow us, and hopefully we continue to make this thing get bigger and bigger. Thank you very much. But it, like, you know, that whole dynamic of it, and then you get back, and then you come back to where it all started, and you win a Super Bowl in the same place that you almost had one. And you able to walk away with peace.
That's all. That's
Now you're out here and you like enjoying life, which I tell you all the time, when you're playing the game, you're like in this little bubble, like this is your world.
Yeah, so focused.
You're so focused, like, because like you said, everybody, coach is calling you, your agent calling you, your wife telling you, don't fuck up the bag.
Mama needs some shoes,
Your parents looking at you, hey mama, look at me. Crazy. We didn't did too much to get you here. Then you know how it is too. You come back home, they're like, you dumb motherfucker, what was you doing? And then you don't want to live with regrets. You know, there's people that's like, they live with regrets.
Tell about your parents, your first race in CMRA. That shit's funny right there.
Yeah, so my parents are like used to me winning, like everything, being the best of the best. And so I was like, yeah, you know, I'm racing. They're like, you racing? I'm like, yeah, I'm racing now. It's like a couple years after I retired. So it's like, okay, you know, I want to invite my parents to come out and watch my race. And so, you know, I'm out there, little prom knob, yellow shirt, you know, starting in the back of the grid and, you know, finish my race at TWS, like, second to last, bro. Like 15th out of the novice pack. There was probably 20 experts, like 17 novices, and I finished like 15th. And as soon as I pulled into the pits, you know, my whole family's kind of high-fiving me, and my mom comes up, and she was like, 15th, Tony? That's it? 15th? That's all you can do is 15th? I'm like, Mom. Like, this time I'm still like probably 290, you know, 295. I'm still a big dude and still wet behind the ears. I'm like, Mom, like, this ain't my realm. Like, I'm still built to play football. Like, I'm not built to go fast on a motorcycle, but she was so used to me winning for so long in track and then in football. She just like, she was not used to me going out and then not winning and seeing me up front.
Told me this on the phone.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Hey, you waste me out in the hot ass sun and shit.